Here is Stellar's in Charge, and this is a 16-hand 4-year-old thoroughbred gelding by Take Charge Indy, and so of course that's an AP Indy line. And this 4-year-old, he ran 22 times. He made $104,000 on the track, and he last ran on November 6th. And he actually came to me. I got him a couple of days after his last race, so I've had him for nearly a month. So when he came, like the next day, my farrier came and we did his feet. So we pulled off his racing plates, put on steels up front, barefoot behind, very standard procedure. He actually has great looking feet. And then he was sore behind after that. And I just assumed that it was because we had pulled the hind shoes and he needed a couple of days to adjust. So no big deal. So then like a week goes by and I look at him again and he's still just as sore, absolutely no improvement behind. So then I'm thinking like, this is not, this is not normal. Maybe he needs hind shoes on to, some horses just can't tolerate being barefoot behind, or it's just going to take a really long time for them to adjust. And I'm not going to wait, months for him to adjust to being barefoot behind. So then the next time my farrier comes out, I say to him, can we put hind shoes on? And so he goes and looks, and actually he found a really nasty pocket of thrush in the tip of his left hind frog. And so he sort of dug it out for me and made a little hole so that I could squirt some Today paste in there. And so for the last 2 weeks, we've been diligently, cleaning and treating that every day. And little by little, he's gotten less and less sensitive about it. I mean, when we first started, you couldn't even pick out his foot without him being upset. If anything touched that thrush, it was pretty painful. And so then over the last couple of days, I noticed that I could get in there, I could do all the things, treat the thrush, and he wasn't reacting anymore. So I knew we were getting better. And so today is his first ride since we've resolved that. And the ring is actually frozen in this ride, which is actually really not helping him because I'm sure the thrush, it's still there a little bit. We're still treating it. It's just not really painful for him anymore. I'm sure he would appreciate some softer footing while he's still getting over the thrush. But anyway, I thought he looked pretty darn good. I'm posting on the wrong diagonal to the left because he was just a little bit more comfortable on that left hind with me on that right diagonal. But I thought he looked pretty good. He felt really good. I was really happy with it. And so hopefully the next time out, the footing is a little bit more pleasant for him. So Stellar comes to me through really good connections that I've gotten many horses from, through a friend of mine who messaged me about him and basically said, this is a great little horse. He gets rave reviews from everybody who knows him on the racetrack as just a really kind, sort of steady, easy horse. And so I bought him on her word, and for sure she was right. I mean, he's not been ridden in weeks, and it's a freezing cold morning. I mean, the ring is frozen, so it's that cold, and I could just come out here and get on, and he was really good. So zero silliness whatsoever. This is not a horse who wants to be naughty. Just really good brain on this kid. So I was quite happy with him because, obviously he was very pleasant, happy to go around, do all the things. He has a really cute canter. He doesn't understand the contact. He's quite green about it, but he's not upset about it. He's perfectly willing to engage in the conversation. And actually, as we went, it got better. And here to the right, this is the second half of our ride, he actually starts softening and giving me some really good steps, which was great. And I'm sure that will improve bit by bit with each ride. He is a totally typical sort of right off the track horse in that, a little bit wiggly in his shoulders, some leaning there at that end of the ring, but nothing naughty about it whatsoever, just very easily correctable, strong outside aids, kick him around the corner, tell him to keep going. Definitely a horse that you have to put your leg on, which is great. That's a nice sort of safe feeling for people, myself included. I would always prefer that. So just sort of a simple type of horse, which is awesome. I love simple horses. I don't need a lot of quirky horses in my barn. He's been great on the ground, excellent for the farrier, stands super on cross ties. We have some cross tie footage here at the end of the video. And he is funny though, he actually prefers, well, I shouldn't say that he prefers picking up his right lead right now. It is possible that the reason that we got the left lead over a pole, it was sort of awkward though, so I didn't leave it in the video. But anyway, it's probable or possible that the reason that he wasn't as keen on picking up that left canter is if that little bit of thrush is still pestering him a little bit. So I shouldn't say that yet, but Really nice rightly canter transitions. And his canter to the left is great. He just was unsure about actually stepping into the left canter. And this is totally the type of horse that you can drop the reins and plod around on the buckle. And actually, after we do our right canter, I did that and he was very good. We went both directions. Steering was slightly challenging, so I would have dropped the reins in the canter, except there's just absolutely no way that I would have had any steering at all without reins in the canter. But he is that type of horse who does not need the contact to stay steady. He sort of just has his own internal rhythm that he's happy to stay in. He has a really cute canter. I sort of always breathe a sigh of relief after I ask them to canter the first time and I get to feel that first step or two, and you either get that feeling that the canter is balanced and pleasant and hopefully not a mess, because when the canter's a mess, that's quite a bit of work to improve the canter. I thought this was quite good. He was very pleasant. So then here I was thinking we'd be done, and then I realized, I really don't need to have contact with this horse in order to keep him going nice and steady, so I might as well just drop the reins and show it. Of course, the only issue with this is then we don't really have a lot of steering, so at times I have to sort of direct, but he's just a really good boy, an honest type of horse. I have him on the market really reasonably because, well, it's winter and my barn is full. It's actually a really cute little mover with a good brain. So I have him on the market really reasonably. He's a super lovely horse, but he's a little bit smaller. He's 16 hands and not a lot of chrome on him. So I always find that those types are a little bit harder to place. Of course, everybody wants a horse with 4 stockings and a blaze. So if you're a person who doesn't mind a horse with a little bit less chrome, but you want a really good brain and an easy to work with kind of horse, then that is stellar for sure.